Matamu tu.
And we're back with Matamu too. This is Matamu Vibes, and inshallah we are back. Yes, tumerudi, musiogope. We'll be coming back and going every so often. But thank you for all of you who are listening to the Matamu 2 podcast. And today we have a very special guest who's joined us from very, very, very far away. Karibu sana, Imani.
Thank you so much. I am humbled to be on your podcast today.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for sparing the time. Najua it is a bit late where you are, but maybe let's just start with who is Imani?
So I will say I am a communications professional, a creative. I'm a person that loves food. I feel like I have grown into being a foodie, right? Previously, I used to hear people saying they're foodies, but yeah, I think over the last few years, and we'll get into it, I've found myself really loving food. I love to travel. Of course, I am a Kenyan, and I am just living life and adulting and, trying to do grown-up things where we can. Yeah.
I'm going to say that adulting is a scam, and I agree. It is a huge scam.
Italy chezwa.
So why I brought Imani onto this podcast? She has lived and eaten in very different cultures in the past couple of years. I've known Imani for, do you know, it is actually almost 10, 12 years now?
I don't even remember when or where we met.
Go down at center, I think it must have been 2012 or 12.
Something, yeah, around 11, there.
12,
yeah.
Somewhere there. Yeah, anyway. So Imani has worked in Kenya, in Nigeria, and now she's out in Southeast Asia. And I want to find out first off, let's start with Nigeria. What really stood out for you for the food there?
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's thank you for asking me this question, because when I interact with Kenyans, the first question they always ask is, how could you eat that food? The way it looks very, and yeah, it's actually very true. As a Kenyan and East African, we have a very different palates. I mean, anywhere you go, you're not used to the taste of the food. When I went to Nigeria, it took me 8 months before I could actually taste their food. And wow. I used to eat shawarma every day because I was just like, that smell, it was not giving. So 8 months of just eating shawarma, like I gained so much weight. There's also, just challenges of moving to a new country and new climate and things like that, new food. But once I reached the 8th month, I tried plantain and I didn't look back. Oh my goodness. I loved the plantain, and to a point where my friends started calling me plantain ambassador because, the love was just too real, And I think that was the point where I was like, okay, maybe let me give it a try. I didn't go too much into their food, but I think I just touched on the surface because they have a lot of different foods. Yeah.
And what would you say was the most adventurous one that you did try?
Ooh. Okay, I don't know if I'm very adventurous because they have all kinds of, different foods depending on which part of the country you are. There's some communities who eat dog meat. I went to a friend's wedding and, like these guys, like my friends were like just these young guys, like sitting somewhere. They called me, come, let's go. And then I asked them, what is this? Because that particular place where I was in is famous for, of course, dog meat and things like that. And when they told me it's dog meat, I could not believe my ears because it looks like, beef stew.
They all look the same.
They all exactly. It just looked like normal. Yeah. So I didn't try. I did not try dog meat. They also eat snail. I didn't try snail. I'm not that adventurous, but I have been with friends who
Ah,
were eating snail. Um, yeah, like the Kenyan in me was just not like, you
just
know.
no, just no.
Yeah, but I did try. I d- I did try like the northern like Hausa northern food. For me, that was really nice. It reminded me a lot about the food from back home. Like they have this like rice cake that they call masa, and then you have it with like different kinds of soups or stew. Yeah, but I was so scared because every time I go to a restaurant and I open the menu, I just see
Yeah.
snail. What? So that was but Nigerians are very proud of their food,
Of course.
and I give it up to them because they have so much culture and so much variety of food. And so yeah.
So coming from Nigeria and coming into Southeast Asia, what was the first thing that like really stood out for you food wise?
So Nigerian food is because I lived in Abuja, that's in the middle northern.
Middleish.
Okay, it's in the middle of the country. So in Abuja, the food is not that spicy if you compare it to if you go downwards to like Yoruba land and other communities. Their food is really really hot. When I left Nigeria, I was eating pepper like, when I left Nigeria, came back to Kenya, I was eating Kenyan food and I'm like, why is this food so bland? Why is there no pepper?
Where's the pepper? Where's the pepper?
Exactly. So, I think your palate just adapts depending on where you are. And to answer your question, when I came to Southeast Asia and specifically in the Philippines where I am right now, was really different, because Filipino food is okay, so maybe let me just give you a background of the Philippines. It's a very cosmopolitan country because they've been colonized by the Spanish. They've been occupied by Japan. The Americans also occupied them. They are close to the Chinese. So the location of Philippines in itself and the history of the people who've been here make it have a lot of variety of food.
Okay.
And also a lot of influence of the food. So for example, all this influence from the Chinese, and there's like a big Chinatown here and a lot of Chinese food everywhere. There's like Korean town just not far from my house, where it's just a street of Korean food. There's Japanese restaurants everywhere. So I like it because it has a very wide variety. So it's just like when you wake up, you're like, what do I feel like eating today? Korean, Japanese, Nepalese.
and of those options, which one is your favorite?
That's a very difficult question because my favorites just depend on how I'm feeling, because I might eat Korean food for like a week and then I'm like, okay, no, now I want to change. Or maybe it depends on, if I'm with my friends, and one of the things we like doing is eating. That's one of the pastimes. So we're just like, okay, let's go to a Japanese restaurant or try. Like recently, my friend and I went to a Nepalese restaurant just close to here. That was also really nice because the Nepalese food, is like Indian food, which is almost like Kenyan food, like the spices, the curries.
It's close to home.
It's close to home, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, so the other day I saw you posting on your LinkedIn that you are in Papua New Guinea. How was that experience for you food-wise?
Man, I feel like I need to go back to PNG because I didn't get time to do anything outside work. You know how sometimes it unfortunately I did not get to like really experience their food, but I did
shucks.
have some, their food is really good. I liked it very, it has a lot of coconuts in it, everything. Like we were in this buffet and it's like sweet potatoes, there's like coconut cream on it. There's some vegetables with coconut cream on it. Like, they, also they are an island. So there's a lot of fresh fish. Oh yeah, I actually also had some fish from there. My colleagues just went to some river and just got some fish and, brought them back. So
the freshest of fresh fish.
Freshest of the, oh my gosh. The food was really good in PNG. Though I didn't stay as much as I'd have wanted to stay, but I hope I can go back and like really get into the food properly because they're also very diverse. It's a very diverse country with so many cultures and so many foods to eat.
So out there in Southeast Asia, I know that you've not done just Philippines and PNG. You've been able to see a couple of other countries. There are some people who say that the Asian palate is very sweet, so like there's sugar in the randomest of things. Have you experienced that? And where was it? Where did it surprise you the most?
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Yeah. I've been fortunate enough to visit a few countries in the region. I have visited Thailand, Indonesia, Vietnam, and I don't remember that.
World traveler. Yes, sorry.
You're trying. Let me tell you. If someone is listening to this podcast and they work for like Africa Union or some organization that has influence of connecting Africa, honestly, that's what needs to be done because the only reason I was able to travel was not because of anything else, but just because it's very accessible. Asian countries have managed to really come together and make it, people go to different countries for the weekend. Like you just go on a Friday, you're back on Sunday, back to work because the connection is really good and it's more affordable. So yeah, because of that, I was able to travel. But back to your question, I think it's hard to generalize, Southeast Asian food or Asian food, it's like when someone says West African food, West African food is so it's hard to just put it in a box, right?
Yes.
Are you talking about even jollof in itself? We're just talking about one dish. It has like different variations and people are fighting about which one is the best,
We agree that it's Senegal and that's the end of the story. But back to what you're saying.
Leave that loud country alone. They shouldn't even be in this conversation. Anyway, so I think personally for me, in the Philippines, their food is more sweet. They have sweet. They have they just love sugar in everything, a lot of sugar and sweeteners and syrups. And, even when you go to, even in my office, at lunchtime, like you're just getting like a sauce or a soup, it has sugar in it. There's a lot of soy sauce and things like that. For the Philippines, my theory is the American influence that that they have. There's all these fast food chains everywhere, and you see older people there. Like in Kenya, you see a certain generation in the fast food places like KFC or whatever. Yes. But here you see even like older people, like in their 50s, 60s, 70s, in these kinds of places. So I just think they are used to, sugary things. So for me, it's just Philippines that I have experienced that. In I guess in Thailand their food wasn't as sugary as this. It was more fresh in comparison to to the Philippines. And in the Philippines, I mean Manila, where I live. It's not easy to see fruits. The way you just walk out of your house and you just see bananas somewhere you can buy.
Just hanging somewhere.
Hey. Once I learned, just the first thing, yani, just fruits and vegetables. So in Manila, I don't really have like that access to like fresh fruit and vegetables, but like in Thailand, in Vietnam, they have a lot of fresh food, fresh vegetables, like even, in their food, like just to show you the extent to how much vegetables they have, in their sandwich, which they call banh mi, the Vietnamese, it's like a sandwich. It has like just vegetables and vegetables and vegetables. So I really appreciated that fact. But Filipino food, I mean, they have some interesting food, actually, to be honest. It's just that it's sweetened. And so that makes it not among my favorites in the region.
I hear you. Bringing it back home, your people are known to be the foodies of the country.
It's a lie. It's a lie. It's a lie from hell. It's a lie.
No, let's look at it. Let's look at it critically.
Let me hear you. I want to hear you, please.
No, from my small experience traveling around Kenya, I found that the people of the Western region tend to be a bit more experimental with the food options. And they tend to have a keen eye, or is it a keen tongue for good flavors. So you never go wrong. You never go wrong in most of those places. However, there's once I was in Kakamega and all I wanted was chips kuku, and this is before the KFC got to catch. So I went to some random restaurant next to Muliro Gardens, and I said, I'd give me chips, give me fried chicken, as simple as you can. And I think because we had rocked up with a UN vehicle, they thought this must be the fancy Nairobians, so they tried to fancy it up. But what happened is that now the chips took about an hour and a half to come out because they wanted to do a fresh batch. And then they ended up boiling the chips first instead of blanching them. So they came out as a very, very soggy mess because even the oil that they were frying was not very hot. It was horrible.
Yeah.
But then on the flip side, there's times I've also visited, especially I think it was Mumias, where we ate some really, really, really fire kienyeji chicken that there's something that they put in there. I don't know what it is. It was so good.
Maybe it's munyu muhereha.
Probably. There's something that they do differently. But what I want to really now just pick up on, speaking of flavors, I had the privilege of sampling some of the Mumias changa. For listeners who are not in Kenya, changa is your traditional brew, but it's the distilled one. And the one that I sampled in Mumias was rather epic, actually, because it had it felt like I was drinking gin, right? Like the florals, the aromatics, it was really good. But maybe you can tell me if you have. I'm not saying that you have. I'm just saying if you have. Have you seen much of a difference in how that is distilled, brewed, and presented like from area to area around home.
Wow. Well, Yani, I didn't think we'd be talking about changa on this podcast. But honestly, to be honest, I wish
Changa lives matter.
Oh, yeah, it should matter, honestly. I think I can speak more about this. You know Busa? Do you know Busa?
Yes.
So Busa is the one that I know a bit about. I don't know much about changa. I think changa is the aftermath of Busa, like when Busa has stayed and then it continues with the process. So I only know a bit about Busa because we used to we used to make it in our house here in Langata, back in the day when we were kids. Like my sijui kama what's that agency? Nakada. Sijui kama Nakada is listening.
It's fine. The statute of limitations. It's too many years ago. They can't come for you.
they used to make Busa, but it's more of like just I think it's just meant to, drink after like food and maybe just help with just relaxation. And it was only for adults. Obviously, we weren't like allowed to have that. And I remember my mom, she used to add some sugar on it. Sometimes I could taste and be like, okay, like it was warm. And so yeah, it's interesting because they used to make it back in the village, but when people travel to the village, when your relatives come and they come with the there's something they used to come with that now will be soaked and result into that busa. But to answer your question on the chicken, there's all this, traditionally I don't know if I can call spices or how our, grandparents used to innovate spices and flavors. So there's this one they call munyu muhereha. That's the Luya name, which is basically...
That's how it's supposed to be pronounced.
Munyu muhereha. So it's basically, if I'm not wrong, I think they used to burn I'm not sure if it was banana leaves or something was burnt, and then it's ashes. Now it was in ashes. I think it was in ashes, and then I can't remember. I don't want to give the wrong information, but I'm not sure exactly what was. It just came from the village, right? And then we'd put water in it. We'd put a container, 2 containers, and the one on top with the munyu. The munyu is now the and then with water, and you just let it drip. It drips slowly and slowly and slowly for like hours, and then it gives you like the liquid. Now that liquid is what you add to like your kienyeji mbogas, your nyamas, and they used to say it improves the taste. I'm not sure. I don't know, but they used to say maybe that's what you had in your.
It's entirely possible because that chicken was soft and flavorful, which generally does not happen for me. With kienyeji, but I really enjoyed it. It really stuck in my mind. All right, and I think that was my last question. My last question, and this one is one that has been going for quite a while. What is your... At the time, it was a COVID thing. For what was your lockdown go-to? But let's even just put it like, what did you now go to? Like on a day when you don't have much energy and there's stuff in the house, like what's your go-to meal?
Ooh, wow, that's a very hard question. Only because I don't really cook here in Manila. I order takeout a lot. There's a very big culture here of takeout and stuff like that. Also because of other factors. I don't really cook much. I only cook rice. And I forgot to mention rice because, you know, Asians and rice, they love their rice. Everything has to have rice.
Same as that, literally.
If I go out with my friends and there's no rice, it's like, where's the rice? You know, just rice. You know, so
It's like aluya and ugali. Like, where's the ugali?
kind of vibe. Actually, Yivo Sasta. Exactly. It's like, where's the rice? You know? So
Yeah.
I only cook rice in my house. However, I really enjoy Korean food and Chinese. I really love the dumplings, you know, whether it has like shrimp or pork or chicken, or even Korean food. I find it quite comforting. You know, it's not too sweet. It feels healthy. There's lots of vegetables in there with the gimbaps, which is looks like some rolls. They call them rolls. That is my go-to. I love Korean food. And so I
Marvelous.
think after this episode, you need to get me a ticket to go and have the real thing. Unaweza, bro.
We shall discuss. We shall discuss once I get sponsors for the podcast.
Sponsors wakuje. Let them come quickly.
All right. Thank you so much for joining me on the podcast, Imani. I really appreciate your time and very interesting stories that you have told us. And thank you, listener, for listening to this episode of Matamu Vibes. And inshallah, we are still going to be vibesing and inshallaring. You don't worry. We will come. We will go, and we'll be around, and you will enjoy. And hopefully, someday we can get some sponsors.
Stuff to sponsors. Stuff
to sponsors.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much, and
appreciate it. Yeah, thank you for having me, and all the best.
All right, and the podcast will be back, guys. Don't worry, we'll be back.